hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Do you have a hot new business or an established business that offers great and unique services or products that you want to get the word out? Are you looking to grow your business and you want everyone to hear the buzz about it? Do you have an amazing project or an idea that impacts our community that you want to share and get others involved in? Then you've come to the right place. You're listening to Community Connections with Norma G. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero, and I want to share our passions while connecting with our community. So now let's get ready to hear about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening on Community Connections with Norma G. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Welcome. Happy Monday, everyone. It is Monday, June 12th, 2017, and you're listening to Community Connections with Norma G, and I am your host, Norma Guerrero, and I hope everyone had a fabulous weekend. And I'm here in the studio today with Mr. Todd Zellin. He's an attorney, and we're going to be talking about elder care law and his passion for helping people with organizing their assets and organizing their finances in order to plan for getting, when they're organizing their finances for when they're older, correct?
Correct.
That's right. So thank you, Todd, so much for being here.
Thank you.
So I want to let you know that you're listening to us at 95.3 FM at 1470 AM and also on your iHeart app at I always get at that as a little bit of a tongue twister. I have trouble getting that word out.
Well, it's Monday.
It's Monday. iHeart app, 1470 AM. You can listen to us there. Also, you can watch us live at Community Connections with Norma G on the Facebook page, or you can check it out a little bit later if you're not able to listen to the whole show right now. We also are going to have back on at the bottom of the hour, Mike Zanardelli, and he is our health and wellness coach with 7.2, and he's going to be talking about the plant-based organic alkaline nutrition that we had him and Dr. Cohn on a few weeks ago, and we're going to continue to talk about the benefits of that nutrition, that the alkalinity and the acidity balance in your body. And so looking forward to having Mike on again. And so we want to thank our sponsors, Whitehall Boca Raton, the skilled nursing and rehab facility that helps us to put this show on together, as well as some of our other sponsors as well with 7.2 and with SkyMed Pharmacy. So Todd, how are you today?
I'm doing great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. Well, you were invited on here through Whitehall. And
great facility.
Yes,
We've got many of our clients there and have had my own father was there as well many years ago.
Really?
He was there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How long ago?
He's unfortunately been gone 5 years, but he had too many bouts. Every other year it seemed like he had a new illness, and Whitehall was actually the place where we sent him. So, every facility has challenges that they go through, and but Whitehall always seemed to deliver for my own father.
Oh,
so
wow.
I sent him there.
I'm wondering because I've been there over a course of over 11 years. I don't know if I recall, but
it's possible.
It's very, very, very possible.
Yeah. He was very memorable. You would have remembered him. He was a good guy, great guy. Yes.
Did you? I don't know if you met Sergio. Sergio's the marketing director over at Whitehall.
Correct.
And how did you come across his path?
We met I've been practicing elder law for 18 years, so there's a lot of people in the community who we know, and as big as South Florida is, it's pretty small and tight-knit community for those who really do well by seniors and the services that they have. So he and I were at a joint event some month or two ago, met there, and have gotten together. I've had the opportunity to send one of my own clients to him, and one of the things that we've always done with our clients is get feedback from them.
Sure.
And I've always made it a point for our clientele that if feedback comes back terrific, that's what we rely upon in our own observations in order to make recommendations. And if feedback does not come well, no matter how good of a referral source they may be to our firm, we want to make sure that we're acting in the best interest of our senior clients. Mm-hmm. So what I can tell you is working with Sergio, he's been incredibly responsive. When I've had a client in need, a family in need, he helped actually recently coordinate, without giving away any confidences about the client, relatively tricky situation, coordinating the care plan that came in, and so far so good.
Oh,
we
well,
hope
good.
That continues.
So now you're an attorney. Correct. And you do you qualify yourself as an elder care attorney specifically?
My practice area of focus is exclusively in elder law.
Elder law.
Many people don't know what elder law is. How does that differ from an estate planning attorney? We encompass estate planning. Estate planning traditionally deals with what's going to happen after life and putting in place directives that allow for loved ones to make decisions if somebody is unable or to make a decision for themselves, whether it's healthcare or if it's financial. We take that a little bit further and quite an important step further. We deal with incapacity planning.
Incapacity planning.
Correct. So when a loved one, I've been practicing for 18 years. I hold a Master of Public Health. I used to be an EMT.
Oh, really?
And my passion, medicine was one option, and but this really fit my analytical skill set and my ability to be creative. And our Medicaid rules allow for frail seniors and their families to qualify for government benefits to help pay for some of the long-term care costs. And the strong majority, these are not ultra-wealthy people who go on Medicaid. They're folks who have saved and saved over, a lifetime. And they're facing catastrophic care costs. They are about to go into a living arrangement themselves or their loved one that's unlike anything they've ever experienced. To top it off, they're probably going to spend down, without proper planning, everything they've saved a lifetime in months or maybe a couple of years. So they're penalized essentially for saving. What we do is advise those folks, get a list of assets and resources, understand their family dynamics. Mm-hmm. Because while there's no cookie cutter design, we don't send out a questionnaire and come back and become an order taker, only to tell the family do A, B, and C, and it's done. It's much more complicated than that. We want to make sure that if a family member is it a first or second marriage? Are you close with your children? Do you trust your children? Do you trust your son-in-law, daughter-in-law? Are there other influences that could affect the use of the money? Because the goal is not to preserve an inheritance. It often can happen, and most families would say, I'd rather see my children or grandchildren take and receive my lifetime of work when I'm gone than to spend it all on long-term care cost. That's the ancillary benefit of Medicaid planning. The main benefit is to give that senior an opportunity for additional care costs coverage and things that give them better quality of life, which could do a number of things that are beneficial to the senior, beneficial also to the state who pays their Medicare bill. So if you have a senior who's safe because they can afford resources and they are a lower risk of falling, they might enjoy themselves. Meaning when you're not depressed, or if you feel decent, even though you might be nursing home bound or assisted living bound, and you could have better quality of life, your health might follow from it. And if you're not sick and in the hospital, the Medicare bill isn't rising. Mm-hmm. So there's some actually key benefits to Medicaid.
So if someone owns their home or their condo,
okay,
and all they're now paying is maybe like their association fees or their taxes.
Sure.
Let's say they have, I don't know, $50,000, $100,000 in the bank, savings from whatever. Mm-hmm. Is this the type of person that you're looking to do some planning with?
There's two types.
Or is it more someone with maybe that's like, what are the two types of persons?
There's two types of planning that we'll look for. Crisis planning, where they need a plan so badly because a loved one is hospitalized or in the nursing home already. Their rehab, which is a Medicare program that pays for care after a qualifying event in the hospital.
Correct.
So they might get that. And after rehab's over, one of two things might happen. They might go home, and there's some Medicaid benefits for home-based care. A little bit harder and more challenging to get on those. We could talk about that in further detail. Or they might have to stay in a nursing facility. So those are the folks that I call crisis planning.
Yes.
The second type is somebody where there's some writing on the wall. There might be a diagnosis of an illness or an Alzheimer's or dementia.
Yeah.
And they're not there yet, but the writing's on the wall. The folks that come to me at that time and say, okay, we've just done, yesterday it could have been, we just did our healthcare directive. We just did our power of attorney.
Our living will.
We've done all of these things.
Sure.
We're good. They're not good often. And the reason is nothing against the estate planning attorneys who may have done those documents. The reason the documents may be inappropriate for their need is because a lot of estate planning attorneys don't put in specific Medicaid planning authority. And if somebody goes on Medicaid, and certain steps need to take place to qualify them for benefits, what might happen is if they don't have the authority, they might not be able to act and complete the plan. And if they can't do that, they might be at risk of spending down at $8,000 or $9,000 or $10,000 every month on care costs that we could otherwise protect. So when I look at a Medicaid plan, whether it's crisis or pre-crisis, we'll come along and we will try to get in place something that allows them to, or pre-crisis mainly, to say, okay, down the road, if you need something, we've got you covered. We don't want a caseworker to pull this purse string shut.
Is it one of those things where you should be addressing this pre-crisis? Or is it an expense where it's like, I don't know if I'm going to need it? I mean, I don't know what's involved and how much it costs for your services to put something like this in place. Or is it like a life insurance policy where you're paying for it and you might not use it? You know, that type of thing?
I never like being compared to insurance, but it could be like an insurance.
Yeah. So, but people have to weigh that for themselves if they want to.
If they've done their estate planning and they paid an estate planning attorney to do their work and they're redoing it, they might have a double expense. And it doesn't mean we have to redo the entire estate plan. There might be some things in place that don't need to be replaced at all. Advanced directives, Medicaid planning authority, for example, and a durable power of attorney. It could be as simple as that. So there's plenty of opportunity. And if somebody has not done their estate planning at all, they may not have a will, or they have an older will, or they need updated advanced directives, coming to my office and looking at what we do. I don't have two versions. I don't have the estate planning version and the Medicaid version. I may customize, and I often do customize documents to a family's needs. But I don't have a secondary version that is a simplistic one for financial power of attorney and a more elaborate or more expensive Medicaid planning one. Because my belief is that if people come and see me while they're well, or if it's pre-crisis, meaning a little bit of writing on the wall, and down the road the crisis does occur, I'm going to give them every opportunity while I see them while they're well to have that authority. My hope would be that they trust me, they have confidence in my services, in my office, and they'll come back to me. And oftentimes they do. And if they don't, it's my job to make sure they're protected for whoever they go to.
And where is your office located, Todd?
We're in Delray Beach by Lake Ida Road and Congress Avenue.
Okay, and
we're in the
what's your phone number and website and all that if somebody wanted to get a hold of you?
If somebody wanted to get a hold of me, our phone number is 561-272-9300.
You can say it right into the camera.
561-272-9300. And
the website?
Website is www.zellenlaw, Z as in zebra, ELLEN, like Nancy, LAW.com.
Well, we're going to take a little bit of a commercial break, and we're going to come back with Todd and continue this discussion about why you would want to, in a pre-crisis, consult with Todd, and also how he gets involved when you already in that crisis, how you get involved, for example, when you do end up in a situation where you end up in a skilled nursing and rehab facility like Whitehall or any of them around town. But Whitehall is located at 7300 Del Prado Circle South in Boca Raton, Florida. And their website is whitehallboca.com, and it's a skilled nursing and rehab facility that offers physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, as well as nursing services, as well as the social services. And that's where someone like Todd gets involved with these rehab facilities, that he'll go in and help people to figure out, if they need that long-term care planning, how are they going to get? How are you going to pay for it?
Sure.
How is the facility going to get paid for? And he can come in and intervene and assess those two things and help you do that. So we'll be right back with Community Connections.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Call 561-392-3000
SkyMed Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy. Our services include home infusion therapy, nursing services, and a mail order pharmacy delivering specialty drugs directly to your home. Our team of clinical pharmacists, certified technicians, and nurses provide comprehensive patient care, generating treatment of chronic diseases both attainable and affordable. SkyMed has a foundation department and a copay assistant program. Our staff is available daily to answer any questions you may have. Contact SkyMed Pharmacy and Infusion Services at 866-778-8255, 866-778-8255, or visit us at skymed.com. That's SKYEMED.com.
Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Feel like you've tried everything and nothing works? Studies show if we are out of balance or too acidic, it can directly affect our sleep. Now, a new doctor-formulated solution is available directly to you. Alkaline Boosters is a fast and natural way to get a restful night's sleep. Take advantage of this promotional offer to buy your Alkaline Boosters today and start sleeping better tomorrow. Call 1-800-994-5361. That's 1-800-994-5361. Do you suffer from back, joint, or muscle soreness? Recovery with HydroFX is the doctor-recommended all-natural solution you've been looking for. Now, available in the U.S., Recovery with HydroFX is a specialized product for headaches, back, joint, and muscle soreness. Get back to feeling great today and order your 30-day supply of Recovery with HydroFX. Call 1-800-994-5361 and take advantage of this limited radio offer. That's 1-800-994-5361.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Yes.
Because you just never know, right?
Welcome back to Community Connections. You're listening to us on 95.3 FM, 1470 AM. And if you have any questions for Mr. Todd Zellin, the attorney, the elder law attorney, you can reach us at 888-565-1470. Give him a call if you have any specific questions yourself about any type of planning. Or you can find him over at his office later, and we'll give that information again. So Todd and I were talking about Medicaid planning and planning for long-term care placement. And so my question for you is, everyone knows, no matter what age, I know we're talking about senior planning, but there's this living will or a healthcare surrogate, estate naming an executor of your estate, those types of documents. What do you think is the percentage of that people under 50 years old have one of those documents?
I think the younger the population, the less likely they will be to have them. The majority of my clients are probably 65 and older, 70s and older. There was a case many, many years ago that probably most of the country had heard. Maybe, sometimes you forget. Terry Schiavo was the example of a younger woman who did not have a written health care directive, and it was very involved.
She had a brain injury.
She had she was in a persistent vegetative
coma
state that they were able to determine, my understanding, I wasn't involved with the case, after death through an autopsy. And it was a fight between husband and her parents, and something that neither one, you should ever be involved with, but life happens. And one thing I've learned...
And then the state got involved.
The state did get involved. Some people think they shouldn't have. Yeah. Others, that was a whole political argument there, whether they should or should not. The lesson that came from it, from a perspective of what we do in estate and Medicaid planning, is if you have children, even if you don't have children, but the ones, when I became a parent, priorities and risk factors and risk tolerances had changed. And when you get to a certain point of life, not that you want to think about illness or dying. It's not fun to think about those things. But life can happen. And those who are prepared and have those directions in place, your wishes are known. And I can't tell you how many times people come in who didn't do their estate planning until they're well into their 60s or 70s, leave my office and say to me, almost verbatim, what a weight taken off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Because they think about it. I know I need to have
Because
it
they've been
done.
thinking about it for 20 years.
And they've done nothing about it. They
Yeah.
finally come in and do it, and they feel better. It doesn't mean that you sign the document today and tomorrow that's it.
Speaking of documents, what are the different types of legal documents that people need to be asking about or inquiring about that they need to get in order?
There's two primary factors that I look at. One, I consider the most important document the healthcare document. I don't care if you have no money or tens of millions of dollars. If you don't have health, none of the money that you may have is good. So to me, the ability to advocate for healthcare is the key thing to have. And most people have a healthcare surrogate designation. They may have a living will, but when I look at the living will and pull out your own living wills and look at them, and if they are about 2 or 3 sentences long, you don't really have what I would consider a comprehensive living will. A comprehensive living will talks in the attorney shouldn't be an order taker. Give me your name, give me who you want in charge, and prepare the document. The attorney should have a conversation like we're having, an interactive conversation that allows us to get to know them, their family, their wishes, and to reduce those wishes to a writing that summarizes up what they would want if they had no voice to speak themselves. It helps the family too. It takes some of the guilt away from the family. If you have to
Right.
make the life or death situation, not knowing because it was too much of a subject that you did not want to approach with your loved ones, it's not an easy conversation, but it's an important one.
And this reverse Medicaid planning, what is that exactly?
Reverse Medicaid planning, and if I could back up from that one moment, I just want to touch base on something that is out there in the community that's a wonderful resource with what I consider to be a fatal flaw that I've pointed out, in my opinion. And there are, if you have something called the 5 Wishes, it was a document that was put together, and I would have to look at it to recall exactly who it was. Well thought out, well purposed document to say if various things happen in life, here's how I would want to die. And it's a very compassionate type of document. And the document does a good job, even though it's not a lawyer presenting it and it's not a lawyer asking some of the questions, it does make people think, and I like that. What the problem, I believe, and if you have the 5 wishes, take a look and make sure this is something that you would want. The 5 wishes, right before your signature, says, I hereby revoke all other healthcare surrogate designations that I've made before. So somebody could come to me today, sign their healthcare advance directive that's quite comprehensive and very good, in my opinion. I believe it's very good. And then go and sign the 5 wishes thinking, well, I've just enhanced what I've done with the elder law attorney. In fact, they just revoked what I did, probably not even knowingly. So if
that
I
wouldn't be
could
good.
change one thing about that document, I like its purpose. I don't like the outcome, and I don't even know if the drafters, I never met them, I don't know who they were, if they realized what they were doing. But you could be taking away various legal authorities that you've given to your loved ones, replacing it with a limited amount of information
Wow.
that's in that document. You have the ability to cross that out or have an attorney review it prior to signing it. But for healthcare, again, most important document I believe someone could have. Make sure it speaks volumes. Make sure you name enough people. You don't want to have to jump through hoops. If you have a spouse and 2, 3 kids and they're all honest and trustworthy, one might live out in California and one might live next door to you. The tendency I've seen is to name only the one that lives next door because of distance. Well, if that one is out of town or unavailable, and you name the out-of-state one as your contingent, the trouble with that is now they have to jump through a hoop. And at crisis, which you don't think about when you're signing these, at crisis, you may not have the ability to, or the time, to jump through those hoops. You've got enough other challenges. Why do that?
Wow.
So just a couple more follow-up comments
sure.
on that. I thought that were key for your audience to hear about.
The 5 main qualifying factors for Medicaid are
To qualify for Medicaid, there's pretty much a 5-part test. One may or may not apply, the age test. Being over 65 applies to home and community-based Medicaid standards, but if somebody younger than that, and unfortunately I've seen those cases, and I've done work on those cases, and I've never needed the work that badly to ever wish that on anybody. But as life sometimes happens, if somebody is under age 65, they can qualify for nursing care Medicaid. Hopefully nobody out there will need that at that time of life. Medicaid primarily, there's a financial test and an asset and income test. Being a U.S. citizen or a legal resident is another test. Medicaid wants it just went up every year.
Where'd you learn all this?
Oh, I don't know.
You read all this in books? How do you learn all this?
Maybe. Just 18 years of doing it.
I know, right?
Yeah, and I've
It's
got
a
some,
lot.
I need one of those earpieces in my ear, someone to tell me it all.
It's a lot of information, and so that's and I'm not going to cut you off. I'll keep hearing
okay.
the different ones,
Sure.
but it just goes to the show why there's no doubt that the average person doesn't know all this information, and that's why you need to consult with someone like you who has taken the time and specialized in it. And as you described when we were talking before, that the type of law you practice is a little bit more on the compassionate side because you're dealing with this planning. This type of thing. It's not criminal law.
Right,
Not that
it's
there's a
not-
compassion in that element too.
There could be, right,
of
but-
course.
but for the most-
But you're dealing with this senior care or end of life care. Regardless, even if I wanted to come and present to you my documents and stuff, it just you're trying to take that, give that peace of mind.
Elder law is one of the few areas of law where you can truly be doing well for the client, compassionate in what you do, and have an outcome that's usually non-adversarial. If it becomes adversarial, it's typically against somebody who, in my opinion, may be, and I say may, and I'll tell you why in a moment, may be trying to harm a senior, intentionally or unintentionally.
Sure.
These are folks that have an incredible amount of life experience, and unfortunately, we don't see that enough. I've learned such incredible things. As much as I've done for my clients, they've given back to me in ways I could never begin to describe.
Yeah. Well, that's how
so-
I feel about the patient care that I've done with treating patients all these
Sure.
years. I don't get anything in return. It's not a job for bonuses and tips and that type of thing. Not that that's a bad thing to have that type of job, but this job you do what you need to do to accomplish the task.
Right.
So for no reward or anything like that, just for the purpose of
It's nice.
helping.
There's some great cases out there. We've had cases, again, without any disclosing any confidences, where a spouse may not be able to afford to live because they had minimal assets, but the majority of the income was with the spouse that's in the facility. And Medicaid rules might provide a small portion to the home spouse, the community spouse, but the other portion of the income might be awarded to pay toward the cost of care. And if in the right factual situations, we can go and do some planning and steps to redirect income. And it's nice because the person who may either need to go live with family but otherwise wanted to be independent, could be independent, but for not having enough money, we're able to get that income over to them. And the loved one in the facility gets the identical care. They don't
Wow.
get any more or less as a result of being
Sure.
able to transfer that
And
right.
do you do any litigation or type of trial? It's like in court where you go to court and have to deal with that type of trial? Or what do you?
Well, most of the adversarial, it's with my kids, but
Right?
they're the biggest cha-
you have to go to court when you go home
when
at
I
night.
go to home, my
When you
wife's
go home
my
at
wife's
night.
the judge, and I
That's
usually
funny.
lose.
Yeah, I go to court every night
Every
when
night.
I go home. My
Right.
job, I'm an attorney, never
No
need
problem.
to. But it's not like a primary.
No, the court I go to is for probate, and I'm not a probate litigator. It's not my area of expertise or my focus area.
Sure.
Some guardianship work, but that has its own set of challenges in that, and I've been shying more away from that. So as the years have gone on in my practice area, what I've done is kind of honed in on reviewing assets, giving advice, whether it's crisis, pre-crisis or at crisis, and really focusing in trust administration. So if a person passes away, we usually get the phone call, so-and-so died, and now we want to distribute the trust.
Yeah.
Time out.
Yeah.
Don't do that yet. Come on in. And it's not because I'm looking for extra work. If it's a straightforward situation and the facts make sense, you may not need me.
Yeah.
But what happens if you have a child who's a beneficiary? And that child may be going through some difficult times in their marriage, or they might have a professional liability or debt that they couldn't satisfy, and people are waiting
Sure.
for them to get money. So when a trust, and some trusts do this, I hereby direct upon my death the outright distribution of X percentage to my son, my daughter, whomever it might be. And when you do that, and they get the money in hand because the document didn't allow for any other choice, or they made what I would consider a poor choice in taking a distribution prior to getting advice. if they do that, they might lose the opportunity. Unfortunately, it takes a death to get some protections for money from creditor claims of the beneficiary. But life happens. And
Life happens.
Life
Wow.
happens. And
Well, Todd, I want to thank you so much today for coming in
was
and
a
kind
pleasure.
of breaking down, some of this information. I think that this is a nice clip to share with people so that they can, ask themselves that question: am I properly organized? Am I properly planned for the future? And so, can you tell us one more time your website, your phone number, and how people can find you?
Sure. Our website, or my office is in Delray Beach, and at 561-272-9300. We're at www.zellenlaw. It's like Ellen with a Z in front of it.
Okay.
ZELLENLAW, zellenlaw.com. And we're wonderful about getting back to our clients. And call us up. If we can't take your call immediately, we will get back to you.
That's awesome.
I never want anyone to have to chase us, so we do our best at making sure we are there for our clientele.
Well, I'm happy to hear. I'm glad that you got to meet Sergio, and I'm happy that you're able to help people in that pre-crisis or during the crisis
sure.
mode.
Thank
and
you.
so, good luck.
Thank you.
Continued, and I really like your whole kind of calm vibe that you seem to provide a little bit of comfort to people during this stage, and
I appreciate that.
coupled with all the knowledge that we need from you. So it was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure was mine.
And I'm sure I'll see you again.
Sounds good.
All right, and
Thanks,
good luck
Norma.
tonight. We'll be right back with Mike Zanardelli, and we're going to be talking a little bit more about the health and wellness and a little bit of prevention on how we can help our bodies function a little more optimally, and which can actually help us in our elder years. And we're going to talk a lot about that with Mike tonight. So we'll be right back with community.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Call 561-392-3000.
SkyMed Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy. Our services include home infusion therapy, nursing services, and a mail-order pharmacy delivering specialty drugs directly to your home. Our team of clinical pharmacists, certified technicians, and nurses provide comprehensive patient care, generating treatment of chronic diseases both attainable and affordable. SkyMed has a foundation department and a copay assistant program. Our staff is available daily to answer any questions you may have. Contact SkyMed Pharmacy and Infusion Services at 866-778-8255, 866-778-8255, or visit us at skymed.com. That's SKYEMED.com.
Do you suffer from back, joint, or muscle soreness? Recovery with HydroFX is the doctor-recommended all-natural solution you've been looking for. Now, available in the U.S., Recovery with HydroFX is a specialized product for headaches, back, joint, and muscle soreness. Get back to feeling great today and order your 30-day supply of Recovery with HydroFX. Call 1-800-994-5361 and take advantage of this limited radio offer. That's 1-800-994-5361. Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Feel like you've tried everything and nothing works? Studies show if we are out of balance or too acidic, it can directly affect our sleep. Now, a new doctor-formulated solution is available directly to you. Alkaline Boosters is a fast and natural way to get a restful night's sleep. Take advantage of this promotional offer to buy your Alkaline Boosters today and start sleeping better tomorrow. Call 1-800-994-5361. That's 1-800-994-5361.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Yeah. Welcome back to Community Connections, and I am super excited about this second half of our segment because we have a return guest here. We have Mike Zanardelli.
How are you?
Is I getting it right?
You got it right.
All right.
Absolutely.
I think it took me a couple times to get it right because I was forgetting the end. And so Mike is with 7.2. It's an alkaline nutrition company, a plant-based organic alkaline nutrition company, and
Yes.
you are a health and wellness coach.
I am a health and wellness coach. It's been something I've done for about 30 years, so this kind of really lined up with what I was looking to do.
That's great. And you were on the show about, I think, like 3 or 4 weeks ago with Dr. Cohn.
Yes.
And you're going to be back on next week as well.
Yes, we are.
Yes, and we're going to have Dr. Cohn as well talking about this plant-based organic alkaline nutrition company, which is very, very, I like the product. It's been really, really nice to be taking it. It makes me feel better.
Okay.
I feel a little more imbalanced, a little more sustained energy.
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit about your involvement in it, and what is it about this product line why you stand behind it?
For me, it was, I had a somewhat of a reputation in the world of health and fitness, if you will. And, training people over a number of years, coaching people over a number of years to perform better at their sport or perform better at school or whatever it was they were looking to gain by having better nutrition or working out. I always try to find something that was going to be able to help that, kind of fill in that gap when I wasn't going to be there. Because a coach is only as good as they are when you're in front of them. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes when you leave that coaching environment, you don't have that support. And so supplements has always been a way to help them get from point A to point C, if you will, being the B as the supplement. And when I had the opportunity to be a part of this company when they first started, I jumped at it because there's no companies out there that were really focusing on organic. And organic has grown, as you probably have noticed, over the last 10 or 15 years. In fact, the largest seller of organic products, or groceries, if you will, in the United States of America is Costco. Now, why would Costco or a big box store actually spend all that time and resources to find organic product? Well, it's because customers are now asking for it. They know that something organic is better than something that you don't really know what kind of pesticides or what's in there. So the fact that it was going to be organic, I was lined up with that because that's what I've been doing for a number of years now. The fact that I knew that it wasn't going to be a million products trying to be the product that fit everyone's need. It was going to be a very specialized product that could really help people, just like what you mentioned, feel better, know they could actually have at least one meal a day their body didn't have to fix, if you will, sleep better at night, have less achy body if they're maybe a little bit older in life, or maybe you're somebody that plays a lot of sports and you find yourself, sore. And we have products to actually focus on that. So it was a really unique line of products, and I knew the owner, the gentleman who was going to start the product line, and I had a lot of years, 19 years, in fact, of him keeping me on track, and most of what he did was all through nutrition.
And I was going to say, what role did Dr. Cohn play in your life before you launched this particular product line?
Well, being in health and fitness, everybody expects you to be like the live wire in the room, always having energy, always being on. And what I found was in my early 20s, being very, very tired. And there's something called adrenal function, and most people don't know what that is. And the challenge is that unless you're diagnosed correctly by someone who understands how to test adrenal function, you can be exhausted and drink as much coffee as you want, and you're still exhausted. Well, I had all those tests by traditional doctors that said, you're fine, just get more sleep. And I said, I've already gotten 8 hours a day.
Right.
How many more can I get?
Yeah.
And I met Dr. Cohn after a big conference he had been at, and he was lecturing to about 5,000 people at a conference I had attended. And he spoke about health in a very different way, and it was really at the cellular way, and how the body needs to be supported from a cellular function. And then as you support the body internally, all of these things that sometimes are external that can affect our body are sometimes handled. Went and saw him. He diagnosed my issue in the first visit. Within 3 visits, he had me on specific nutrition to support my adrenal glands. And suddenly, for the first time in many, many years, I had energy. So I was like, wow. It was just so very interesting to me because it was a different approach towards health.
It was holistic.
It was holistic, and I had never heard of a specific nutrition, in fact, that he put me on at the time. So once you have a revelation of, wow, I can feel amazing all the time, even if I have limited sleep, there's no reason to look other places. So I started seeing him on a regular basis, about every 3 weeks or every 4 weeks, just to kind of go in and tune your body up, if you will. I mean, we all know that it's smart to take your car in to get a tune-up and have an oil change on occasion, but we figure, the human body, if I don't feel anything, I must be fine. If I don't have any symptoms, I must be fine. And that's really kind of a poor plan. Now that I know the knowledge that I have, it's, their body's always changing. Chemistry in your body, you would know that. You have a medical background. is always changing, but it doesn't always tell us right away. In fact, when some issues show up, it takes decades for those issues to show up. And it's like, well, there are things that we could have done preventatively along the way to have that issue never show up. And so a lot of times that has to do with, the interference that we have with our lifestyles,
Sure.
lifestyle choices. It can also be with the foods that we ingest, the alcohol that we drink, the air that we breathe, the water we drink. So with so many things out there that can take elements that can take our body askew, why not at least have one thing that if you could do it at least once a day, it can really help your body out.
So you believe that this 7.2, this product line, is helpful in that preventative aspect of it?
No question about it. Again, it's, if I can knock on wood, and if I can find some in here, everything seems to be laminated.
Yeah.
But I think what's interesting to know is that myself, along with other people that are using the product now, they just seem to always have more energy. That time of the year when people are getting colds and flus, most of the folks that I know that are using the product are just, their immune system is more healthy, if you will. So they're not as open to getting some of the issues that are happening out there. I mean, I'm not saying that we prevent or cure any type of illness whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It just seems if your body has the right information or the right nutrition, if you will, your body's more prepared to deal with things that most people just can't deal with.
A lot of it is really mindset and people that wanting to make a change in their life or lifestyle to say, what I put in is what I'm going to get out of my body.
Yeah.
And that really is a big mindset. It's one thing if people are already in the mindset of health and fitness and those types of things. Now it's a matter of making a decision of, okay, which product do I want to take?
Sure.
Which we can talk about that when we're going to come back from commercial in a minute. Or just the mindset of, should I be caring for my body at all to begin with?
Right.
And that's really it's almost like the two different types of people that you have to target. You have to identify yourself. Which one am I of those two people?
Right.
Or are you somewhere in the middle? You know what I mean? Are you somewhere in the middle? And I think that there's probably an element of each types of those people because we have a lot of obesity.
Yep.
And then you also have a lot of people that the weekend warriors or weekend, athletes or exercisers, or let me eat healthy a couple meals and then let me not eat healthy a couple meals. And so it's just finding that balance. But what I found is that using this product, it kind of evened me out a little bit. It actually even helped me kind of to have a little less stress, a little coping with like a lot of different factors because I felt, just more balanced. In an interesting way. So I'd like to come back, when I come back from commercial, talk a little bit about immune conditions.
Okay.
That perhaps, that I know that a lot of people that when they have immune conditions,
Sure.
they're seeking supplements.
Absolutely.
And what do you think that if this supplement could help people with that? All right? So
sure.
we also tune in when you take a little break. Mike has a couple commercials. Ads up, so for alkaline boosters and recovery with HydroFX.
That's correct.
And one of them helps with muscle soreness, joint pain. Another one helps with sleeping, correct?
Yeah, sleeping.
With nice sleep. So listen to those, and we'll be right back with Community Connections.
Are you looking for short-term inpatient rehabilitation or long-term care placement for yourself or a loved one after illness or injury? Whitehall Boca Raton Skilled Nursing and Rehab Facility has served South Florida for over 35 years. With care and oversight from our experienced physicians, Whitehall Boca Raton offers specialized comprehensive nursing and rehab programs in neurological, orthopedic, cardiac, pulmonary, and post-operative surgical care and outpatient therapy provided by our highly experienced nurses and therapists. We accept Medicare and other major insurances. Call 561-392-3000.
SkyMed Pharmacy is a full-service pharmacy. Our services include home infusion therapy, nursing services, and a mail-order pharmacy delivering specialty drugs directly to your home. Our team of clinical pharmacists, certified technicians, and nurses provide comprehensive patient care, generating treatment of chronic diseases both attainable and affordable. SkyMed has a foundation department and a copay assistant program. Our staff is available daily to answer any questions you may have. Contact SkyMed Pharmacy and Infusion Services at 866-778-8255, 866-778-8255, or visit us at skymed.com. That's SKYEMED.com.
Are you having trouble sleeping or staying asleep? Feel like you've tried everything and nothing works? Studies show if we are out of balance or too acidic, it can directly affect our sleep. Now, a new doctor-formulated solution is available directly to you. Alkaline Boosters is a fast and natural way to get a restful night's sleep. Take advantage of this promotional offer to buy your Alkaline Boosters today and start sleeping better tomorrow. Call 1-800-994-5361. That's 1-800-994-5361. Do you suffer from back, joint, or muscle soreness? Recovery with HydroFX is the doctor-recommended all-natural solution you've been looking for. Now, available in the U.S., Recovery with HydroFX is a specialized product for headaches, back, joint, and muscle soreness. Get back to feeling great today and order your 30-day supply of Recovery with HydroFX. Call 1-800-994-5361 and take advantage of this limited radio offer. That's 1-800-994-5361.
Thank you for listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We're the place where we talk about your business, a product, an idea, or a project to get the word out to our community. I'm your host, occupational therapist Norma Guerrero. Today we are sharing our passions while connecting with our community. Give us a call at 888-565-1470 and join our conversation. Don't forget to tune in every Monday night at 5 to 6 p.m. to join me, Norma G., and our guests to find out about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Can't wait to see you there. Now let's rejoin the show. Cheers. Welcome back to Community Connections. We have Mike Zanodelli in the house here today, and we are talking about 7.2, the plant-based organic alkaline nutrition company that he stands behind, and he has introduced me to. And so, Mike, you have been with this company now for a handful of, you've been with the founder for many years.
Many years, right. And we launched the company a little over 5.5 years ago, and I was there prior to the launch, so helping develop products, et cetera.
And so you were in its inception.
Yeah.
And so you're saying that a lot of these products out there, they're not all organic? Or is there a lot that are organic? You know, what separates you, between this one and that one?
Well, there's a lot of products out there that they call themselves health products. But if you start to look at ingredients, I think people are starting to become more aware of ingredients. I mean, the internet's made everything available to us. And if it has colorings, dyes, artificial sweeteners, flavorings, you can't be a complete health product because, again, the body's ingesting stuff. It still has to deal with that stuff. And I know there's a lot of companies and people that represent those products that will try to explain it away, but I promise you that if it's not organic, it's probably not something that's going to be 100% beneficial for you.
All right, excellent. And I know that when you gave me the shake to try, vanilla.
Yes.
But what I've noticed is that you have a new flavor coming out.
Yes, we
Not
do.
that it's anything like, a new surprise flavor, but I know that you're real excited about the rollout of this product. Which one is it?
It's our chocolate shake. And I had a chance to try it very early on when they were testing. I mean, it's interesting to see how many times you have to go back and forth with the manufacturing to try to get the right flavor and the right texture. And, the vanilla is very smooth. And chocolate, people that love chocolate are very peculiar, like, I'm not sure that was right. It tastes a little bit like carob. And we actually have real chocolate as a part of what we're doing. And our product is 100% certified organic. And it tastes amazing.
Tastes amazing?
So I ordered a bunch of stuff for myself this week. So I know it'll be in, and I get a chance to now go chocoholic for a while. And then still go back and forth. But.
And that was just something you guys have been waiting to do, or your clients have been requesting it?
Well, people always like to change things up in flavors. And, with the vanilla, which is nice about that is you can use berries and strawberries and different raspberries, et cetera. You can change it up, and you can make a different flavor. But a lot of people love chocolate. Very difficult to do.
It's like a sweet, like a dessert.
No question. People love chocolate, and I love chocolate.
I love chocolate.
So I'm really excited about it, and I'm sure I'll OD on it for a while, for several days, like 3 or 4 drinks a day. But it's nice to have it, and it tastes fantastic, and it's just another way for people to say, you know what, I can do that. And that's really the premise of the product line. It wasn't to say, hey, listen, change everything in your life. It's like, hey, if your boat is off course one degree, you're not going to end up where you're supposed to. But if we can say, hey, listen, don't change everything about your life. Just do one thing once a day that's going to benefit your health. It's kind of like a checking account. Most people think their body's like a checking account that has an endless amount of balance and you just keep writing checks. Well, no, at some point you go negative.
Yeah.
Your body's in the same exact way. So this is a way to make a great deposit of healthy organic nutrition, and you're definitely going to feel a difference.
Yeah. And so if someone wants to purchase this product, how do they go about doing that?
Well, it's pretty simple, actually. They can go to a website called alkalinitybiz.com.
How do you spell that?
ALKALINTY, alkalinity, biz, B-I-Z.com. That's the simple way to go on. They can shop now, and there's several different ways on there that a customer can benefit by getting on a reorder, saving and shipping, et cetera, very much like an Amazon. Once you get to the website, you can check off certain features so that you can save yourself in the shipping and reoccurring orders.
And when you have a couple different type of ways to purchase the things online, if someone wanted to consult with you, what's your number if they wanted to reach out to you and talk with you as far as what they should best buy for themselves?
Well, consulting is a big part of what I've done for a number of years. In fact, there's a lot of athletes that I've worked with, had a chance to, a real privilege to work with a lot of professional athletes. And, a lot of times they come to you not just based on how you look. I mean, I guess I've tried to stay in shape my whole life. It's become a lifestyle. It's not just that. It's like, hey, what do you do? How can I perform better? And, if you're talking to an elite athlete, for example, they're always looking to try to get 2 or 3% extra because that's the difference between them and their competitor on the field. Well, the majority of us, if we could get, 5, 10% extra, what's our competition like? It's not as rigorous. And I would sit and consult, and those consultations can be pretty pricey depending upon what someone is looking to do. And what I'll do for your show and for people that want to call is I'll do a consultation on the phone, absolutely free, 100% free. And, they can call me on the 800 number, 1-800-994-5361, I believe it is.
5361, yes.
And they can call that number and leave their name and number. I'll call them back. We can spend, a little bit of time on the phone to really address their issue. Be very specific. They can be open and honest. The more authentic they can be with me and tell me, hey, this is what's happening. I've tried this, and just nothing's helped. How is your product going to be any different? And I'll tell you how we're going to be different. Is they can use our product for 60 days and get a 100% money-back guarantee. If in 60 days they use it like I ask them to, they get 0 results, no problem. 100% money-back guarantee.
Wow, that's quite an offer. I mean, and you stand behind it. And as far as immune conditions that people may have, are you finding that people are reaching out to you and your organization, your company, to ask them if this would be helpful for those conditions?
Well, I think in that community, obviously, again, our product can't prevent, cure, mitigate any type of disease. You should consult your physician before bending at the waist tomorrow when you put your shoes on. That's what they want to cover, or using any additional product. But I think that what's happening now, again, the medical community or people that are putting labels on conditions that people have, is they're saying, hey, you need to eat better. You need to watch what you're eating. Good friend of mine just went to the doctor and he says, Doc, my back's killing me. He says, well, yeah, if I was carrying around 40 extra pounds too, my back would be killing me as well. So I think the community out there is starting to understand that if you're feeding your body better than someone over here who's going through fast foods all the time, eating greasy foods, high calorie foods, empty calorie foods, just doing things that most people are conditioned to do through advertising, if they can do something healthy, they're going to find themselves feeling better.
Sure.
And better prepared. So a lot of people that have, if you will, conditions are noticing that those conditions are at least improved when they're using a healthy product.
Yeah. And is there any conditions that people have that shouldn't be taking this? Is there anything that's come out in the research or in the studies regarding that? We can ask Dr. Cohn next week.
No, absolutely. And I think the people that the people that probably shouldn't use our product are the people that are in complete denial that their bodies are perfect. And I think a lot of people fall into that. I mean, we can help people that are underweight that need to gain muscle. Very easy to do that. We can help people that are overweight and just cannot figure out a way to get it off. And we can help people with that too. And there's, a myriad of other things. Like we have professional athletes using our product.
Yeah.
Why would they use our product when they could pick from anything else?
Yeah, because they're using it. And so, Mike, like I mentioned at the top of this segment, that we're going to have his colleague, Dr. Cohn, on next week, and we're going to get into more about the alkalinity, what that means, and the alkaline boosters and the recovery hydro FX, and break those down, because I know that Dr. Cohn said last week that that's one of the most important products
No
that he
question
has.
about it.
And your website and phone number to give you a call again, Mike.
alkalinitybiz.com or 1-800-994-5361. My name is Mike Zanardelli, and if you leave a message there for me, I will take your call personally, and we can talk on the phone.
Awesome. Give Mike a call so he can help walk you through your health and preventative health as well. So we'll be back next week with Community Connections. Have a great week, everyone. And thank you again so much, Mike, for coming back in.
Thank you, Norma.
And for
I
helping
appreciate
being a
it.
sponsor of the show.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it. And thank you to Whitehall as well. Have a great week. You've been listening to Community Connections with Norma G. We will be back next Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. with new guests to share about what's hot, what's new, and what's happening in our community. Did you hear something you liked today on our show? Please contact me, Norma G, at 954-802-2015 or email me at ccnormag@gmail.com. I look forward to helping you expand your business, project, or idea and connect with our community.